Now I'm going to show you how to install this sliding screen door. We're going to put it up into the inside top channel, and then we're going to lift the door onto the bottom track by hooking the rollers onto the track. Now, it may help with the screwdriver, once you've got the door into the top track, to lift the bottom part onto the track, onto the running track. It actually can be easier in some circumstances if you take the door to the right over to the side, because that's where it's the highest. There. We've got that front wheel on. So now the door's running on the track. What we do after we've got it to that stage, we need to get the door parallel with the wall or with the glass sliding section inside there. You can push the door up against it and you can see how it's already parallel. So we need to adjust the bottom rollers up half a turn, then we go inside and adjust the top rollers. Now that we've installed the sliding screen door, before we put the striker plate on for the lock, we need to jack up the bottom rollers and the top rollers to keep it all in a nice parallel position. Take a Phillips screwdriver, take the weight off the door and adjust the bottom wheels up a couple of turns. Do the front one and the back one to get it parallel with the side of the wall and the frame. Once you're happy with that, you move to the top wheels and adjust them up as far as they would go so the door won't have any movement up and down. To the front one and the back one, and the door should slide beautifully along. And this will also stop the door from coming off the truck if some kids and dogs run through and bash the side of the door, because the top rollers will put pressure down on the sliding door. Once that's done, we can then fit the striker plate. Right, so now we're going to install the striker plate onto the frame. So the best idea is to put the striker plate in the door first, like that, and then close the door. And then we'll mark the top part of the striker plate on the frame, like that. Then we can take it off and get ready to screw it into the channel there. Right, so grab the screws that are supplied in the package with the striker plate, a 1/8 hole into the aluminium frame, line the top up with the pencil mark you did before. Put your first screw in. Second screw in. Then from there we need to adjust the striker plate up and down. It's got adjusting positioning on it to meet up with the door when it closes. So this one doesn't need any adjustment. Grab the screwdriver and tighten the screws up into the frame. Close the door from the outside, get the key, lock the door to check that it's working properly. If you've got a triple lock door, the top one and the bottom one will be installed in the same manner. Now that we've got all the striker plates fitted, put the door in the closed position, and we have to mark the fixed glass panel for the interlock. You hold your pencil on a 45-degree angle at the back of the door and mark the aluminium frame, top and bottom. Once you're happy with that, those markings, and obviously this door is parallel with the glass patio door, then we'll need to open the door up and remove the door again and fit the flat part of the interlock. To get the measurement for the interlock, you're measuring the glass area of the fixed panel. Then we just deduct about 5 or 10 mil just so the interlock doesn't scrape on any part of the aluminium framing when it's opening and closing. I'll just take you through the fitting of the flat part of the interlock onto the fixed panel now. Where we marked it with the pencil when the screen door was in the closed position, that's where the flat will go. So we take the flat and put it onto the fixed panel of the glass door. So we're just going to line the edge of the flat up just inside the lock side by 2 millimeters of the pencil mark at the top and the bottom, and then we will rivet this flat into this fixed section of the glass door with pot rivets, which we'll supply. Once that's done, then we'll fit the screen door back onto the track. Right, now we've put the door back on, we've installed the flat part of the interlock, we need to install the angle part of the interlock. The angle part goes onto the back of the door, and it should go behind the flat part that was fixed to the glass panel. So you drop that in, and as you can see, it fits in between the glass area and behind the flat interlock, and then we screw through the back of the door. There's about 5 screws down here, and these will also be a tamper-proof screw. Then we'll go to the bottom screw. So you just need to check that the door opens and closes without any clunky noise at the back here, and if there's no clunky noise, then you know the interlocks are fitted properly. So we go ahead and put the rest of the screws into the interlock. Once that's done, you cannot prise the back of that door away. Right, well, if you're lucky enough to have a family with kids running in and outside your sliding patio door, then you probably need one of these. Now, this is a water closer, and this will attach to the door and then close the door behind when the kids go in and out. This particular one takes water inside here, so you need to fill it up before you attach it to the door. I've got some holes pre-drilled here, so I'll just attach it now. It only takes 2 screws, so it only takes a couple of minutes to fit it. Now, I've already had the fishing line cut and set, but there's instructions that come with it, so it's easy enough to read them and find out what to do. You put a screw on this side here, on the lock side, and then we hook that fishing line up to there with a bit of pressure on that line, obviously, so the door will close. So presto, it's closed behind the kids when they walk in and out.